I'm going to support Shari Olefson, real estate lawyer and author of Foreclosure Nation. Ask me why?
Why?
Because she drove a Trans Am. That's all I got. That's all I got. You know what, Shari? We could end the segment right there, because that alone makes me happy. Eagle on the front and everything.
The whole 9 yards, but you know what? It was all downhill from there. I mean, I had a Trans Am then. Now I'm driving an old, Kia.
It doesn't matter.
It was all
get 100,000 mile warranty.
The high school was the highlight.
Yeah. Now, you specialize in commercial real estate and understanding the craziness of what's going on, especially in Florida with real estate. We just had a guest on who said you might want to consider investing in commercial real estate, and I think I heard you coming up saying
Steve
I would disagree.
We agreed to disagree. Yes.
Okay, why?
Well, I'm coming from my practice, which is representing banks in commercial foreclosure. So I'm the one who files the complaints against the hotels in Florida and the office buildings and things like that. And I definitely see things getting worse. And unfortunately, and there are two sides to every coin, but the FDIC's involvement in taking over some of these institutions is really exacerbating the situation. Imagine if you were a guarantor on the hook personally for a $10 million loan on an office building, and you heard that your bank was about to be taken over by the FDIC. The last thing you would do is pony up a check.
Right.
See, part of the reason we had you on is because this first-time homebuyers tax credit is expiring tomorrow, April 30th. It's also a repeat credit, $6,500 if you were in a home for 5 years and you decided to go move on to the next one.
Right.
They claim about 1.8 million people were affected by this. Do we need to extend it? Do we need to create something for the commercial industry now? I mean, do we need the government to get in on this?
If we're asking about government involvement, my answer pretty much carte blanche is going to be no.
Okay.
This particular credit, I don't know if you remember back in 2008, but this began as a loan.
Sure
so if you were buying a home, you had to pay it back.
Right.
After the stimulus package came out in February of 2009, and Washington was concerned because everyone on Main Street was up in arms about all the money going to Wall Street and to banks, they basically made it a bag of money for new home buyers. And then it was extended in November to include existing home buyers. And like any other debate, there are two sides to every coin.
If I may quickly, though, you have to stay in the house for 3 years.
Yes.
Or you will owe that back. The whole thing.
Yes.
The whole kit and caboodle, $8,000.
Yeah, but good luck, the IRS or the SEC, that won't be the SEC because they're watching porn, but the IRS is really going to come after you?
Well, and Adam, that's a really good point, because one of the things that critics are saying is that there were literally hundreds of millions of dollars of fraudulent money that went to people. Something like $600 million is what my sources are telling me.
Your government tax dollars at work.
Right.
Oh, right, because there was a kid that tried to claim the credit in the very beginning.
I guess at the end of the day, though, we had the Case-Shiller Index come out, and one of the things that the analysts were explaining, and which was really disturbing to me, is that we've not hit bottom. Not in commercial real estate. We're talking about residential real estate. They're saying that what we're seeing, everyone cheered year over year we're up, but if you looked at the month to month, we actually started to decline again.
Right, and here's what's going to happen with the tax credit expiring tomorrow. So incidentally, for anyone who has not already gotten a contract, a home under contract,
you got to walk in 24 hours.
Or forget
Careful,
about
she's
it.
from Jersey. She
Right,
get a contract on you.
Forget about it.
I got people.
Well, have we hit bottom?
I'll make a call.
Have we hit bottom in residential real estate?
We have not hit bottom, but the thing is that it's becoming more segmented. So we're seeing differences in terms of where we're hitting bottom, where we're recovering based on the location, based on the property type, based on the price range, those kinds of things. But one of the things that's going to happen now is we are going to see a dip, because we saw a little bit of increase in home sales and in prices over the last couple months. We're going to see a dip now, just like we saw when the home credit was supposed to expire.
So you think these numbers were inflated because of the credit?
Somewhat inflated, but you know what? One of the things that critics of the plan are saying is that even though the proponents are saying that they added several million buyers into the market and saved about $1 trillion worth of home equity for the rest of us, the critics are saying that actually 3 out of 4 of those buyers would have bought anyway. So the actual price that it cost us was not the $8,000. It was more like $30,000 or $40,000.
So the areas that are still going to tank, I would imagine. My family, I have relatives in Florida.
I'm so sorry for me.
Yeah, South Florida. When I go home sometimes to visit, I see the towers of condos and have to imagine who is in there.
Well, and you hit the nail on the head, like I said. So Florida is going to be, the Sand States are going to see more problems. But within Florida, we have a lot of condos, and these McMansions. I mean, McMansions are unfashionable now. So if you have one of those, you're probably going to lose some more money on it still.
But does this mean then, to Steve's point from earlier, that it's a buyer's market? I mean, if I'm looking for a condo in South Beach, now's the time.
You know what, South Beach, the traffic is really awful.
I love South Beach. Let's not go there.
Euro trash.
It's a second home. When you're down there, you don't have to rush. It's
well,
the
yeah,
second
right,
home.
right.
There's no place
but
to
then
go.
you have to work, so you can't enjoy the beach.
I am Eurotrash. I'm a
You are
Sicilian
not.
immigrant.
You are
Come on.
not. Well, then we're all Eurotrash,
second
I mean.
generation, whatever.
Right.
Lithuania.
But am I right though? Then I should go buy a condo at the W
Yes.
down
well,
there.
well, unless you're worried that prices will go down further. Here are the wild cards. The wild cards are still the interest rates, because we know the Fed ended that program last month where they were buying the securities. So the interest rates are obviously going to go up. They can only go up.
We're already
right?
seeing the 10-year bonds are starting to go up.
Right, right,
So, yeah.
right, exactly. We've still got a problem with foreclosures, and we've still got a serious problem with negative equity. Employment looks like it's getting better, but those are the wild cards, and we don't know what else is going to come out of Washington. And remember, every time something comes out of Washington, I mean, this tax...
It gets worse.
Yeah, this program's a great example. I mean, they didn't magically create new people who needed homes. What they did is they pulled from people who were going to buy homes in the next 2 years, had them buy now when we really need it, which means they're not going to be buying in the next 2 years because, like you said, Tracy, they have to stay here for 3 years to keep that credit.
This is like cash for clunkers, right? You pulled the people who wanted to buy cars in earlier. Okay, so we have to go, but quickly, who's still going to fall further? Or where? What cities are still looking at
the sand states, definitely the Rust Belt, and definitely in the condos and the mansion categories.
Florida, Nevada, California,
5 to 20%.
Arizona.
Yeah.
5 to 20%.
I'm so buying a condo
What about
down
New York?
there. Why wouldn't I buy a condo?
We're good in New
York
York.
is good.
I think she's Boca, not Coral Gables. You should buy in Boca.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Shari Olefson, real estate lawyer, author of Foreclosure Nation, Mortgaging the American Dream, former Trans Am